Hi, both. Thanks for joining us today on our Business Gurus channel, where we will be discussing key business topics to help students grasp the most important elements of their course in preparation for their exams and future career. Let's get started.
Welcome to the deep dive.
Hi there.
We're jumping straight into some source material today. We've got some notes and a slide focusing on market research methods.
Right.
And our mission really is to unpack this foundational idea, primary research, just to get to grips with what it actually means, why it's, distinct.
Absolutely. And this material, it gets right to the heart of it. It defines primary research not just as a term, but really explains its core, its essence.
Which is the data itself.
Exactly, the data. It's the starting point if you want to understand how different market insights are actually generated.
Okay, let's dive in then.
Yeah.
So the source, it defines primary research as gathering original data. That word original, it feels really important here.
Mhm.
Why does the source stress that specific aspect so much?
Well, what's crucial about highlighting original and the source's right to do it is that it points to data that, it just doesn't already exist, not in a ready-to-use form anyway. So, unlike looking up existing reports or databases, that's secondary research, a different thing with primary research, you are the one generating this information
From scratch.
from scratch, tailored specifically to whatever question you're asking. You're not finding it online or in a library. You're literally creating it.
Got it. Okay. So it's about actively um, producing new insights that weren't just sitting there before you started digging.
Precisely.
And the source mentions another name for this too, right?
Yeah.
Something about the field.
Yes, that's right. It's often called field research.
Field research, okay.
And that name kind of hints at the process, doesn't it? Going out into the field, whether that's like literally going somewhere or maybe doing it virtually
To get the info directly.
to directly gather this new information. Yeah.
Field research, okay. That totally tracks with the idea of actively going out and, getting the data yourself.
Hmm.
So beyond just the definition, why should? Why should you, listening now, care about understanding exactly what primary research is?
Right.
What makes knowing this difference important?
Well, it's incredibly important, actually, because primary research is how you get answers to questions that are unique to your specific situation, your project, your problem.
Okay.
Like, say you need to know how potential customers, maybe just in your particular neighborhood, would react to a totally new product feature, something that hasn't launched anywhere.
Right. You can't just Google that.
Exactly. You can't find that answer in some existing report. You basically have to go out and ask them or observe them directly.
So it's the method you use when the data you need just isn't out there yet.
Yeah. It lets you gain really relevant, timely, specific insights precisely for the problem you're trying to solve or, the opportunity you're looking into.
So it's data built just for you, for that specific, maybe niche question you have.
That's a good way to put it.
The source material does list some related terms, just for context. Things like secondary research, which you just mentioned,
Right.
and quantitative data, qualitative data.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds us they're all part of this bigger market research picture.
Exactly. And, while those concepts are obviously vital in their own right, our source material today is really laser focused on just nailing down that fundamental definition. Primary research is about creating brand new, specific data from the ground up.
Okay, so bringing it all together then,
Mm-hmm.
primary research is fundamentally the process of actively gathering, maybe even creating new original data.
Mm-hmm.
Data that wasn't available before you started the research, usually done to answer a very specific question.
You've got it. And our source material definitely hints that once you understand what primary research is,
Hmm.
well, the next logical step is to explore the actual methods.
How you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you actually go about getting these brand new insights from people or situations or wherever?
Right. Which leaves us with a thought for you, our listener, to maybe chew on.
Mhm.
If primary research means you're creating data that literally didn't exist before, what unique challenges or maybe even ethical considerations might pop up, especially when you're the very first person asking certain questions or gathering information on a specific topic?
That's a really interesting point.
And how does knowing this difference between finding existing info and creating new info change how you might look at stuff you find online versus data someone specifically gathered for their own project?
Something to think about.
Definitely something to think about. We'll leave it there for this deep dive.
Thanks to both of you for joining us today. You've been listening to the Business Gurus. Let's now hand it over to you. What further questions do you have based on what we've discussed so far? Leave a comment and we'll get back to you right away. If you haven't already, hit that follow for more business tips.